Now, fellow rude boys, stand fast and let us unite and deal with 100 or 1,000 years.
But first.
Oh! It's over! I don't know what they was thinking when they let the city in the building sabotage.
Long list of things to talk about. Writing solo today. My guests are not here. They're probably coming late or not coming at all. But nonetheless, I'm here with you. I want to start off this morning, talk about the Opportunity Scholarship Act as opposed to the Hope Act. The Opportunity Scholarship Act is a pilot program scholarship that's aimed to target the most failing schools, the critical failing schools in New Jersey. Now, school districts like Camden, who get $23,000 per kid. $23,000 per kid, as opposed to Cherry Hill, who gets $10,000. $23,000 per kid. And Camden schools look like prisons, smell like prisons, are painted like prison, got bars on the window like prisons, give police officers with guns like prison. The atmosphere feels like prison. The hostility is like prison. And the dropout rate, again, 80% for Hispanic, about 70% for African American. There was a CUSAC report just released. CUSAC is an assessment on how the district is doing. Well, the district said that in personnel, they score 100. And in curriculum, they score a 67. Well, the State Department of Education thought that, wait a minute, let me check this out. That don't sound too good to me. So they went in, the State Department of Education went in and conducted their own investigation. Well, they found out again that the Camden School District lied again. They said that it wasn't 100 points for 100% for personnel. They took that number from 100, they gave them a 7. On curriculum, they went from 67 to a 6. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is that telling you? There's not enough prepared people in front of our children, and the curriculum sucks. Our kids are not learning. This is devastating. This CUSAC debacle, it's not the first. In 2010, same thing. They failed the CUSAC report. They're not educating our children. So, when was the other time that the Camden School District lied? Well, recently when they reported that the Camden School Districts were safer than Cherry Hill School District, that our kids were safe, that we only had 24 incidents of vandalism, drugs, and crime. 24! We're safer than Cherry Hill, Collinswood, Mitchellville, we're safer than the suburban cities. Our school district has improved. Well, the Carrier Post scratched their head because the Carrier Post gets a lot of my complaints from the school district. So the Carrier Post went to the Camden Police Department and asked, can you tell me how many incidents of violence the Camden school districts have reported? Well, they reported 260. The State Department of Education came down here again and did their own investigation and found out again and again that the Camden school district lie again and again. Now, what do you need to clean house, Mayor Ed? What else do you need? Now, the State Department of Education right now has 3 options on the table. First option is to do a partial takeover of Camden schools. Deal with the Board of Education, fire the superintendent, and run the district partially along with the brain-dead Board of Education that's there right now. And I call them brain-dead because I am so frustrated with these people. Because these are good people making horrible decisions for our children. How can you be good if you're making horrible decisions? Because I know them. They got good intention, but they are just what can we talk? Stubborn mules who can't get out of their lazy butts and go to the schools. Oh, wait a minute! You're not as a board member. You're not allowed to walk in the schools. That's ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as the directors in City Hall can't talk to City Council without the mayor's permission, or the chief of police can't talk to the media or anybody without the mayor's permission. Sounds like it. Mayor, Board of Education, the mayor, City Hall is in shambles. The city is in shambles. Our kids are being destroyed. And the schools are in shambles. So, was run by one person. That's the mayor of Camden. Runs the whole show. So that's one scenario the State Department of Education has. It's partial takeover. The next one is to take a full takeover, which reduce the Board of Education to an advisory role. Fire the superintendent that needs to be fired, and clean house. I like that option. The third option is to send a fiscal management team to the school district, something that has tried, that they've been doing, been there, done that, hasn't worked, won't work. Shut up. Don't even go there. When you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting the same result, you got to be insane. What is wrong with you? These are kids. And guys, I'm going to stop right now because I got the chief in the house.
Good morning, Angel. You sounded good this morning, brother. Laying it on.
How are you, Chief? Good to see you.
I'm ready to drop some bombs, bro.
Oh, thank you, Chief, because I am so frustrated. You know, the school district is absolutely in shambles. And that's why the city's in there. That's why
today is in shambles.
Thank you.
Yesterday I'm in North Camden talking to a couple brothers, and I'm on 7th Street. And you know what? Almost saw a 3-car accident with 3 different drug buyers. One was going up a one-way, one was going into the one-way, turning into it, and one was right coming from the other way. I'm like, wow. because they're all buying drugs and in such a hurry.
Are they people from Camden or outside of Camden?
They didn't look like they lived
In Camden.
in Camden.
You know.
Like yesterday, I'm like, look at this. This thing is crazy. Chaos.
It is. It is. You know, I started talking about the OSA, and that we've been trying to get this piece of legislation done for right now 10 years. Let's take this call. You're listening to the Eye of the Tiger, WNJC. You're on the air. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your concerns. Tell it to me.
Angel.
Yes.
Eddie.
Eddie, Reverend, how are you, sir?
Very good. I was going to say that I can't hear the chief talking. Those mics must be low or something.
Can you hear me now, Brad?
Can you hear the chief now?
Can you hear me now?
Let me see. That was on them. I just stepped away so I can talk to you.
All right.
Hey, chief, say,
I think-
All right.
Can you hear the chief now? Say, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now, Red?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Thank you so much for letting us know that.
All right, yeah, Angel.
Yes.
You remember when you and I went to the state monitor's office with my attorney, and we sat there and talked to him about, the Scholarship Act and how, all these Latino, that you're helping the Latino kids move from the dangerous schools with No Child Left Behind and placing them into Catholic schools?
Yes.
And we sat there and told that guy that we're here to make our schools better. And he never responded to me in letter writing, and that's why I'm in court now. But anyway, I want to tell you that remember Sarah Davis said at the school board meeting that we were bamboozled and hoodwinked by the state of New Jersey out of our school construction money and the Landing Square project.
Yeah, that was when Corzine and Commissioner Davey were at the helm, right?
Yeah, and then remember Monday night when you brought up the Opportunity Scholarship Act, what did the mayor say? That she allocated $200 million to Camden to build the Landing Square School and other schools, and the school district drugged their feet.
Yeah.
And we lost the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who else, when you and I have been around the whole time when this whole state takeover came in 10 years ago,
Yes.
and the school board relinquished their power only to expedite the school construction to make sure it got done.
Yes.
And what happened? The state allocated our money to the school construction, and the money is gone.
Poops. Gone. See?
Now we have Donald Norcross, who's in charge of the refunded school construction money. $1.2 billion is sitting there, and he's sitting on top of it, the 800-pound gorilla that is stopping the Landing Square project.
That's Senator Norcross.
Senator Norcross, there's no other reason why that Landing Square School is not built because of Donald Norcross stopping the whole project for his brother.
Well, you're not going to put a public school that's going to fail next to a medical school that's going to succeed. How can you do that?
Well, the Camden School District already spent $11 million fixing that ground to make it a public school. Now, Angel, the reality is that, Camden, again, like I said, the school district has 50% of our jobs, and a vibrant school district is going to, it brings us jobs in Camden. Now, I'm with you with the Scholarship Act. I mean, I told this Camden School District, you're going to have to compete with faith-based schools with the Opportunity Scholarship. A parent has a civil right to give their kids the best education. If they think that an education that includes God is a better education for their kids, they have the civil right to do that.
But Eddie, how can they compete with the Opportunity Scholarship Act when we are only looking at 1,000 kids a year and 3,000 drop out every year? So there's no competing. They are banning a minimum of 3,000 kids a year.
Okay, well, I understand that, small classrooms is what succeeds with inner city children. Whatever the reason is that they need small classrooms to thrive, then I'm with that too. And what does the Milwaukee show you? Is that when you put those opportunity scholarships, now faith-based schools start sprouting up out of the churches and out of the mosque. You know what I mean? And if we had a synagogue, it would come out of the synagogue. Well, these small community schools can start up just like yours.
Absolutely. And the bottom line is public schools get better.
They get better. The small classrooms, the kids with a faith-based education, they all do better.
Well, and they do better not just because of the small classroom, and also because they know that they have competition and they have to get better. Look, the difference between Cherry Hill High School and Camden is that Cherry Hill High School know that they got competition. That if they don't do right by that child, that parent is going to move. That parent is going to transfer to another school. That parent got the financial resources to do something about that child. But in Camden, that parent doesn't have the resources, and the school district know that whatever you do to that child, at the end of the day, that parent have to send that kid to the school or go to court for a fine for not sending the kid to school.
We have to be honest about the whole thing. Is that the godless Democrats are stopping any money being used for religious education at every point, and they even put that in your scholarship act in order for them to get, to have the Democrats approve it.
Did you say garbage?
I'm from Camden. I'm sorry, I'm from Camden. But these godless Democrats that are stopping hiring the schools, stopping the Bible curriculum from being open to the schools, are straight from hell.
Oh, I agree.
All right, thanks, Angel.
Chief, you got something?
Well, it's funny that Reverend Torres said about having the means in Cherry Hill to go somewhere else, Angel. I actually worked for a fire officer who did that exactly. He lived in Cherry Hill. He moved out of North Camden, lived in Cherry Hill, and then put his two kids, eventually hit all three kids through Bishop Eustace. And I questioned him that, why would you do that? You're in Cherry Hill. And he says, well, it's not good enough, and I'm able to.
Thank you.
So it's funny that you said it, because I know a guy that actually did that.
And this is why I love the Opportunity Scholarship Act, because, again, all kinds of reforms come and go. People in the school district come and go. Superintendent come and go. Board members come and go. But parents are the only equation that stays in the school district all the time. And when you empower parents, just like your friend, because he had money, to make decisions for their kids, this is the only reform that won't go away. And we're talking about $9,000 for high school, $6,000 for elementary and middle schools. Means is that out of $23,000, $13,000 of that money stays in the district minus a kid. I mean, that's a good deal. You're going to give me $13,000, and you're going to take that kid out so I could do better things with my school. But instead, and look at this, the president of the teachers union, Vince Giordano, they asked him about the OSA, Chief, and he said, I don't support that. And then the guy said, but what about children who are trapped in failing schools, who don't have a chance? He said, I am sorry, but life is tough.
Well, you can't blame the unions for not wanting a change to the status quo. But, Angel, just driving up here this morning, I had a brother called me up, and he was like, look, what are we going to do about the public safety situation in Camden? And I said, look, man, all right, everybody has to come to the table. Unions have to come to the table. The city has to come to the table. I had a brother, a fraternal brother.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
A brother from another mother?
Yes. I mean, I'm
a brother like
I'm
no
vice
other?
president of the Camden Bomberos, the Camden City Latino Professional Firefighters. And they voice a lot of frustration, especially lately, because they're scared that, they're going to lose their jobs. And they want to remain working in Camden. In fact, this brother actually moved back into Camden last year. Sold his house in Pennsauken, And what do we have for him? We're probably going to consolidate him out of his job.
Well, look, and I'm going to get into the public safety in a minute.
Sure.
But let me finish up.
But he has young kids, so his concern, too, is about schools. And it's like, that's everybody's concern.
Look, but Vince Giuliano saying life is not fair in a statement, and the only one that was, no, it's not that life isn't fair. That poor kid that goes to Camden High, the state gives this district $23,000.
A lot of money.
Okay, as opposed to Cherry Hill who get $10,000. What you mean life is not fair? You got the resources, you got the child, you're not doing anything with it. You don't want to look at all the reform. Life is not fair because you want to keep these kids uneducated. That is the whole agenda about the teachers union. Let's keep these kids underperforming, underachieving. Let's continue to deal the hand of the Democrats.
And continue this welfare economy that we got going on with broken homes, over 80% now. You know, this is in communities of color. You know what I mean? It's approaching 60 or 50 for Latinos, and ungodly numbers for the black community. Numbers that it should be. We should just declare war. I mean, like a straight up war, because we cannot proceed as a country. We definitely can't continue as a first world country.
No.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
Look, 100,000 kids fail in New Jersey. Black and Hispanic kids.
100,000.
100 kids. These are the 100,000 of the most rich children.
Yes. If you can't make it in New Jersey, which is in the United States, then what can you make?
Well,
if you can't make it in the most prosperous state, in the most prosperous country in the history of the world, where can you make it at then? With these conditions.
The thing is that 100,000 kids that go to public schools, the urban public schools in New Jersey, are failing, and these kids receive more money than any urban suburban school district in the nation. On that note, I was reading a study last week, and I don't know if it was from Brookings, but I'll try to have it for you next week. And it talked about the social burden of undereducating our urban boys and girls. And it talked about that by the time they got to 18 years of age, the money you have to spend on everything, on the school system, on whatever entitlement systems, honeys they were getting. And then, by undereducating them, the social burden is that a lot of these people are not productive members of society, okay? They don't end up working in productive jobs. A lot of them end up in the correction system. Now, instead of them being productive and paying taxes and creating wealth because maybe they're working a job that makes something or something that can be sold, now you have to spend money on them. And if I recall correctly, they had a per male was a lifetime of $2.3 million of social burden if we don't make that person into an educated, productive citizen. Absolutely.
Per person. And you see that because just throwing the numbers, $35,000 a year to lock somebody up. You know what I mean?
45.
And if they can't support their kids, now you got to support the kids. Easily $2.3 million.
Absolutely.
That's the cost. So when you're talking about $23,000, yes, lifetime $2.3 per person.
Yeah, and when I talk about Democrats,
pay now or pay later.
And I talk about Democrats that it's a welfare party. We have 100,000 kids that every year get failed in New Jersey. These 100,000 kids are all Democrats. Who is stopping the OSA from passing? Democrats who are tied up to the union. Who will benefit from 100,000 kids getting a proper and good education?
Oh, boy.
Democrats.
Oh, no. I think there's a lot of people in that party, but I'm pretty sure you're right on that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, I think, on both sides that will benefit.
But again, who will stand more to gain? In Camden, it's not a Republican party. That's a Democratic city. Newark, Democratic city. Orange, Democratic city. Asbury Park, Democratic city.
Yeah, but they also gain in the long run when the kids go to jail. I don't think those are, but who knows? And who really cares what party they're at? I understand what you're saying. You're right about that. In Camden, this is the situation, and we know what's blocking it because you see who's blocking the votes.
But Chief, my point is that the OSA is a bill that started with the Democrats 9 years ago.
Yes.
Through Nilsa Cruz Perez. It's a bill that is targeting Democratic cities because Democratic children are being sentenced to life of poverty. When you throw a lifeline into these cities, into these young Democrats, the Democrats tend to look better, and you have more potential voters. You have a better class of people, and the Democrats have been the sole persons, the sole group behind stopping this bill from passing. They have been. And it kills me that why would you do that to your own people? That's my question.
Well, it's about money.
All right, yeah.
Come on, man. It's a sellout. It's a sellout. It's a sellout.
It's a sellout.
Okay.
And when I touch on Vince Giordano, the president of the teachers union, saying that life is not fair, that is a racist bias.
Well, it's not an acceptable answer.
No,
I got you.
it's not.
But he's right. Life isn't fair.
No.
But what you gonna do about it?
No, the thing
You know
is
what I mean?
that it's not that life is fair. Look, Chief, if I give you $23,000 to go clean my house, and you live it dirty, life is not fair for me? What is wrong with you? You didn't do your job.
I hear you.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I hear you, man.
Come on, Chief.
There has to be some accountability. I got you.
There's no accountability. He does not care about poor children, is what he's saying. And the only one
Who says he doesn't care? Maybe he does care, but he cares about his membership even more.
This man makes...
But regardless, we all as citizens have to do the best for each other. We all have to.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Chief, this man makes $500,000 a year.
Nice job.
$500,000 a year, and tells the people that life is not fair for that kid who's stuck in that failing school, who gets more money than God to come out to get a good education, and is not getting it because his teachers union, he is stopping any reform for switching the dial so he could get in a good education. He is the problem there. And he say life is not fair. No, you're not there. You don't care about these kids. You are racist. And the only one who had the nuts to come out and say something about it was the governor. How you doing, John?
Hey, doing good, Ange. Great show today, you know.
Thank you.
Excellent show out there. I'm going to get out of my way. I don't want to screw you up today. You know, you're on point.
No, John, you're the man. You're the man. Anytime you come
always have
to
something
fight,
important to say.
I know you mentioned Orange, New Jersey. I know about Orange. It is a Democratic city. I grew up in South Orange, so right up there.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy what's going on in public education in urban areas. And, you know, if the Democrats holding up progress with the teachers union,
sure,
destroying families, 100,000 families get destroyed every year, and everybody's okay with this.
Well, Ange, I'm going to get out of your way, but I want to tell you one quick point, real quick, with dealing with Whitney Houston. Everyone said she was going to be eulogized at the Prudential Center in Newark, which is where the Devils play hockey and the Nets play basketball.
Yeah.
Well, she's not. And it just came out a few minutes ago that the reason she's not is she's dead broke. And it would cost $2 million to rent that building out and to, you know, with security and everything. She made over $200 million in her career, and she's dead broke. How?
Hey, John, I hear that. Well, now she's not going to be broke. Now she's going to make.
Well, just the records are going to sell.
Yeah, now that's
Sony raised the price.
In America, you got to die.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, in America, you got to die to become rich.
Well, Michael Jackson, they said the Jackson family, not that they wanted Michael to die or anything, but financially, they came out real well because all the records sold and Michael's not around to spend the money. He was a big spender.
Hey, John, I hear that the flags are going to be fly at half.
I don't know about that, though.
I
don't agree with that.
I love Wendy. I think she was a great singer and inspiring person, but that's something that we say for
sure.
heroes.
Well, let's call it what it is. It's Christie trying to shore up his support in the black community, in my opinion.
Wow.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, I can't think of any other reason to fly those flags.
There would be no other reason.
I mean, it's a very politically correct move by Christie. You know, I could say that.
Well, you know, he loved Wendy like I do, but you know, that's stretching it.
See you later, H.
All right, thank you, John.
Right. You know, it's funny talking about Orange. I had a roommate when I was at Fort Bragg a long time ago, and I remember this was like when
What's Fort Bragg?
Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Is that where a military base is?
It's an army base. I was when I was stationed in the Special Forces, 5th Special Forces Group, Airborne. To all my military brothers out there.
Our terrorist alert is up. Iran is going. They say Iran is going to attack the United States.
Why would I? I don't even want to. I didn't want to get into that because
this is a little tiny speck of a country somewhere in
those people do not want war with us. You know, here's the problem with Iran, and
I want to go back to Fort
and there
Bragg.
was a time. Well, in fact, this ties into my time at Fort Bragg because I was an Iran specialist. I mean, when you were at Fort Bragg in 5th Group at that time, that's what you did. And I'm allowed to say that. But when you look at the country profile, and I did look at it recently, the problem with that country, which is the problem with a lot of Middle East countries, they're very young. They're some of the youngest countries in the world in regards to the amount of young people, young men and women who are old enough now to marry, work, marry, have a family. The problem is they don't have enough jobs. So that's why you start having all these revolutions last year because they, hey, I'm old enough. I want to settle down with a wife or a husband, you know. I want to have a family. I want to have a house. And I can't do it because I don't have a job. Iran's problem is that you have a real old guard that's trying to hold on to the status quo. But you have such a humongous number, like more than half, I think almost 2/3 of the country is young, that they have to find a way, like they need to create jobs. They need to create lives for them because otherwise they're going to revolt. So you have the old guard saying some things, saying, oh, you know, we're going to start a fight because it's easy. It's like what we did under George Bush. If you start a war, you forget about all the other things going on. We got to be careful with that. We don't need another war. And really, those kids over there, they want to be like us.
They do. They do.
I mean, look, haven't had the privilege, and trust me, it was a privilege a long time ago before these latest wars, after Desert Storm, where I was able to, you know, visit some of these countries in the service of my country, you know, with a military passport. Let me make that clear. Those people love us. They really do. I'm like, wow, they want democracy.
Yeah.
They love our way of life. Of course, there's some things they don't appreciate because, you know, they're more conservative, but isn't that also what we're talking about? You know, having a good conservative upbringing here and, you know, having a family structure where a man and a woman can raise a family, get married, raise a family in peace, in safety, and have children and thrive, you know?
Absolutely.
They're not, you know,
Absolutely.
I hope we don't get into any more wars. We need to bring everybody home.
So talk to me about Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg, home of the airborne, 82nd Airborne Division. You also have home of Special Operations Command for the Army. You know, it's a pretty intense place. You also have Pope Air Force Base. And you'd be surprised how many people from Camden end up going there because so many, you know, of us joined the military out of high school.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? And, in fact, I met a brother last week on the film set. Big Lou was recording his video for Voices Camden Anthem. And the brother that was running things was a paratrooper from Camden. Back in the day, I'm like, look at that, man. You know, and it goes back to the theme that I always say. We have the talent. We have the brothers and sisters out there, you know what I mean? They have the ganas, the will to do it. We just need to go out there and tap it, and we need to just do freaking clean house. Okay?
Yeah. Freaking clean
house. Get these people. And they're not all young. You know, like the brother was at Fort Bragg in 78. So, you know, he's in his 50s. You know what I mean? But he's out there with the young people doing his thing. You know, I was like, wow, it was a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah,
well, you were there, so you know, man.
I want to touch on that because what the videotaping of the Camden Anthem, I was there and I saw unity, I saw love, I saw binding. It was so cool. It was so cool.
It was. You know what? When Big Lou said that there was people that had major beef against each other, and then he touched on that last week, but they all dropped it to come together for this. Man, to me that was such a big sign. I was so inspired that I've been on fire since. I've been driving my wife crazy, baby. I apologize, but you know what it's all about. You know, we're trying to help our people, and we're trying to, you know, do something that's amazing right now. And I think this year we're going to be doing a lot of amazing.
Absolutely. Okay. And talking to amazing, let me share something with you amazing. And the Camden High Bridge, which has been closed for 6 months now?
Painful.
All right. Everybody knew that area right there was a place where crime is going to happen.
No, I know where you're going with this.
I said that, my kids are going to get beat up or going to harass or something's going to happen with them when they walk from school or to school.
You've been saying that.
Okay.
I give you that.
I've been saying that, right?
Yes.
So, you know that there's a rapist in the...
a serial rapist. It came out yesterday.
Okay. Now...
It took a few rapes for it to come out.
This is my...
Ain't that something?
This is my problem, Chief. The first rape happened, they didn't tell the community. And the second rape, no.
Wasn't
the third
news.
rape, no.
Wasn't
the fourth
news.
rape, after the fourth rape, then they come out. The rapes happen between 3 and 5, okay? What the hell does the police department need for the guy to turn himself in? Couldn't you put a surveillance team there,
but,
do some real policing work?
But Angel, those are good times that if you would just sound the alarm early enough, you can get together a community watch. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not hard. So I was stunned by that because I'm like, we didn't know that.
I told the mayor the other
You
night.
know?
I said, Mayor, we knew that was going to happen. What is your way to our kid? A 16-year-old girl got raped for 3 hours in that place. And the fourth rape, they tell us that we have a concern. Now they have a squad car parked there. So what's going to happen to this serial rapist? Well, he's going to go into East Camden. He's going to go into Parkside. Now he's going to expand his horizons.
Angel, it's not even just that one guy. Ever since the layoffs, it's just once the news got out nationally that we were in such a tough position, it plants something in these psychos' heads out there. You know what I mean? That they're like, all right, Camden's opportune. It's an opportune victim. That means a victim that's ready to get, to strike on. And it's hard to shake that image. You know what I mean? And that's what happened last year when they laid off. It was like, and you know what? Fraternally, I could definitely speak on this. We sent them letters saying this was going to happen. A heightened community, safety situation here, And it's just sad to see these things play out over time.
It begs the question. Is the Camden police moving to the side, allowing crime to escalate so we could get the metro policing in the back door? And is the mayor conspiring to get this done?
I won't entertain that. I'm sorry.
It's just put the question
and
out
I'm
there.
an outside the box thinker. But I will not entertain that.
I have the man to ask him right now.
I'm almost insulted by that being a firefighter.
Let me ask you that. Does that beg the question? No, you're gonna wait for 4 murders in Cherry Hill. The first murder, the first rape, and all kinds of action would have taken place. All kinds of investigation would have taken place. In Cherry Hill, 4 people got into a cabbie and almost killed this cabbie. 3 hours later, they had all 4. I mean, if that would have happened in Camden, then 4 people would still be in the loose right now.
Well, the guy was Latino, so they don't really care. I hate to say that.
Of course.
But, when I get when my brotherhood calls me up and they start telling me about more and more incidents, I was like, I hear you, man. They get the letters from us. They just don't care.
Reverend, is Camden crime being let loose in the city of Camden to bring the Metro Police as a back door? Is that what's going on? Because after four raids, you tell the community when you should have done that the first time.
Wow, and the first one, she was raped for 3 hours?
No.
The last one, the girl was being raped for 3 hours.
I can't hear this, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, Angel, listen, the referendum that went around with Camden, to post this question on the ballot, is not going to be beat by the mayor. We only had to have 1,000 signatures. I mean, this is America. You're allowed to petition your government to ask the question.
But America is not Camden. Camden is a third world country.
Listen, we go to court, Angel. I don't play games like that. I'm doing the same thing I've been saying for 10 years. I have the right to put a question on the ballot.
Yeah, but you're going to go in front of a judge who pays attention to status quo.
We do everything
everything in God's timing, man, and He sets it all up. So now the question is in front of her now that this question has to go on the ballot in November. So you're talking about 9 months that she's not even going to be able to implement a Metro Police Department. So I looked at the crowd on Monday and told them, well, what are you going to do right now? Your only solution is to put in the special police officer program and have them people walk the safe corridors.
Absolutely.
Now, I told the mayor that $1 million, we can put 60 police officers that have to live in Camden to keep the Camden resident requirement on the Camden Police Department. And that's what the FOP offers, if we go with the, keeping our police department where you have to live in the city for 1 year before you become a Camden police officer. So the whole thing is about the jobs. Remember Capelli, he sent a letter to every city in Camden County and told them give them 2 cops that they laid off that they could be hired back under the Metro Police. So let's get real, Angel.
I know.
Listen, I go for the $1 million that we can do that. The school board can pay $500,000 and the city can pay $500,000.
It's the school board's fault what we're in right now. They should be paying for everything, and they should also release the 12 police officers they have in their building.
Well, how much did they pay for those 12 police officers? Like $3 million?
Mm-hmm.
For 12.
Yeah.
We're talking 60 for 500,000. Listen, I told the mayor, you got to give me some respect who I am as a Puerto Rican in Camden. If there wasn't a number one Puerto Rican in Camden, it's my family. So it's, she doesn't even. She already took that thing off the table the first night when we spoke.
He almost called Reverend. Hold on, Reverend. You almost called the mayor racist on Tuesday. Oh, you did, right?
My lawsuit is about the racist. Look, if it was a black pastor that came out and said, Mayor, let's have prayer in the schools, you think she wouldn't say, let's go?
If a black pastor will approach the mayor with prayer in the school, the mayor will react in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Absolutely. Now,
a Bible curriculum that was already in 170 school districts, over 32 states, that beat every constitutional question was possible for Camden. He said no.
Reverend got so hyped that he walked towards the mayor, and the cop reached for his gun.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, Reverend, what is that mayor having?
Took the life out of her,
what is the mayor having today?
It cost me $10,000 if I want to speak there.
She's having the state of Camden
at the Cooper's Ferry Partnership meeting
for the Republican Democrat for our Camden Republican Committee. In order to speak at that function, has to pay $10,000. I don't get a ticket. You
can buy a ticket for $100, Rev. $100. Go ahead and spend your money just to hear the mayor tell you the state we're in. That you already know.
Why is she not telling the community of Camden about the state of Camden?
She's going to next month.
At the next,
or next meeting. Next month in March.
In March? All right. Well, Rev, always good to have you.
All right, bye.
All right.
It's those things are kind of shocking. I'm still absorbing the rapes and I haven't even processed that. So I don't know.
I'm mad because of that. I'm mad because of the crime. I'm mad because we lost 52 lives last year that could have been prevented if the mayor would have worked closely with the police unions, with
the
Mr.
fraternals.
Williamson, with the fraternals.
Thank you.
If we would have worked closely,
we submitted plans in writing. We've done presentations.
It could have been avoided.
Of course it can. Of course it can.
I at the Tiger, tell me your concern, tell me your criticism, tell me what's in your mind.
Buenos dias. Good morning, America.
No way. Who you think this is, Chief? Who you think this is?
The Gran Activista?
The Gran Activista!
Fellow airborne paratrooper brother?
Yeah, simplify. Do or die.
Do or die. What's up, Jose?
Well, let me tell you something. They're talking about the Metro Police. Well, listen to this. These girls got raped at the Foreham Park, the park out there by by Camden High.
Yes. 4 people.
Who's supposed to be in charge of the county park? The county police.
Ooh! Touche! Who? Jose? Explain that.
Where is our Metro Park Police at?
County.
Because they're Metro Park Police, because they got their own county, so they are Metro Park police. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, isn't that the park police supposed to be patrolling that? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and they're metro, right? Because they got all the county parks.
They are metro.
So there is a good sample of what you're going to get from the Metro Police of Camden.
Wow, man, that's
Not only that, Mr. Norcross sent his people a letter threatening them that they don't want the signature to get through, and they're trying to say that the paper that the signature was taken on it are no good. The paper, listen to this, that the paper the signature was taken are no good.
Well, this is what I think, Jose. Norcross calls the shots. Norcross controls the politicians in Camden. Why the hell don't he become mayor of Camden?
Well, he don't need to be the mayor because he's the king of the.
You have to be responsive to the people.
That's right.
They don't want that.
That's right.
Remember in England when the guy used to own all those, what they used to call it, whatever the king owns. Well, if you look at it, freeholders are based on the English way of the king, because the king used to be the freeholder of all the property. That's why in Burlington they get away with the name freeholders, because freeholder is a kind of English type of thing about the king owning the property. That's what it's all about. But the people of Camden don't do anything about it. But anyhow, we don't need Metro Police. We need our Camden Police. We don't need a Metro. But this, look at what happened in the parks. And,
we need a better Camden Police, Jose. You're dead on. And you know what?
But what gives me about this guy, Mr. Norcross, going into the newspaper, 10 pages of his life history or whatever he wants to do in the future. You read the paper today about
I'm sorry, Jose. Jose, we apologize, but right now, John came in and put the TV on, and we're watching CNN, and this whole thing with Iran is getting ugly, and we're just like stunned. We're looking at it. As you're talking about the problems we have in Camden, I mean, this thing with Iran is getting ugly. So we apologize for that, but
yeah, well, I think it's 7 rapes. I don't think it's all. I think it's 7 of them.
I won't be surprised.
7? How you know it's
that are reported. Don't forget, there's probably a lot more that just aren't reported because not every person reports a rape. I think I read in the past that only 20% of rapes are reported. So you can imagine what the real number is.
It wasn't 4. I think it is 7.
Who knows what it is? It could be way more. It could be 20 or 30.
Thank you, Jose.
It's definitely.
Think about it, but listen, gotta keep the fight, and we gotta make sure that those signatures go through, because this guy said that the paper that the signature was taken is not good. They're trying to do whatever it is. He gives the orders, make sure this don't go through. Only one person say, I'm not gonna go to jail.
I hear that.
Only one person say, I ain't gonna do that. But the rest of them,
you know what?
Willing to do because they're gonna lose their job. Take care. Bye.
All right, this spring, man, we definitely have to wake up. All right, I mean, this is just tough, man. You know, and we can't let like these things happen nationally distract us because, you know, we're in a tough economic situation, and you know, and history has always showed that when the economy is doing really, really bad, we get into wars.
Yeah.
And then we're looking at this thing on TV and we're going, come on, man, let's work on the solutions here instead of starting another war.
We are at war in our city.
Oh, we are definitely at war.
We were in a recession. We're now in a depression.
And we're in a depression at war. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is it. I mean, this is as ugly as it gets. And now they're attacking our women and brothers out there.
I don't know.
Can we continue to allow this to happen? That now they're targeting and attacking our young women? Our women from at the high school age? Is this what we've become?
We have allowed this to happen. I don't see. I haven't heard from a minister. There's 455 churches in Camden. I haven't heard the outrage from them that the police department waited to 4 rapes to say something about to warn the community.
Was it the police department?
Well,
or was it the public affairs?
No, it was the chief
from the mayor's office. I mean, I'm not trying to defend the PD, okay, but we also know that they control communications tightly in City Hall.
But where is the prosecutor? See, the structure of policing is the police goes to the crime scene, collects the evidence, sends it to the prosecutor, then the prosecutor mounts an investigation where they arrest people. That is the protocol.
But Angel, this is a public safety emergency. I hear you. You're talking process. You tell me this as a public safety professional, okay? That this is going on, and I know that the real number is
probably
way more, way more.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 3 times more. But, and I'm like, wait a minute. This is stop the presses. This is right now. We have to do something immediately.
Well, when is the prosecutor of Camden, the prosecutor's office, going to solve a crime in Camden?
Well,
did they solve?
Don't forget that they did the layoffs too, though. I mean, I'm not trying to defend them. Everybody had layoffs, my man. Okay, this is what we got. You know, and you're right. That's not an excuse.
No,
it's not an excuse. You still have to get the job done.
Right now, let me tell you, I see better policing and more policing that I have seen when there were 500 cops on the streets. The other day, I'm at the store buying some takeout food. And the cops comes in and says, are you okay? Have you seen anything suspicious in the neighborhood? Let me know. Here's my car. I felt real safe.
That was cool.
When I drive around there, I see cops walking in my neighborhood. I ask you, why are you walking in Kramer Hill and not in North Camden? You know, but at least you're walking somewhere. But I have seen some more police presence, and I have seen more cops stop vehicles than any time before. I had seen like 5 cars being stopped back to back. So I see more presence. And look, sometimes you could do a lot with less than with more.
But we're so past the more with less. You know.
Yeah.
You can make your department as efficient as possible, but if they're so overburdened with the amount of runs and the amount of paperwork and the process involved with that, you know, it gets to the point where you just have to, that statement, think outside the box, whatever. You know, you have to do something different. Just like you start off the show about the Opportunity Scholarship Act, okay? You know you have to do something different, and it has to happen now. And the same thing is with public safety. But this metro, where we're going to just completely go to the suburbs, you know, we know that's not going to work. The numbers aren't out there. And now we're talking about an actual public safety emergency today.
Yeah, because if you were addressing all aspects of Camden's problems at the same time, you could work with more with less.
Yes.
But you're not. You're giving the police department less, the fire department less.
They're outsourcing.
And they're
just outsourcing, and they don't want to hear about ways to improve it.
There's more and more crime.
It's just outsourcing.
Reverend, you have something else to say?
Well, you're talking about things that are not getting reported. I thought I heard from an insider that a police officer that, doing her job walking the streets in Camden in Kramer Hill area, that she received a death threat. A female Camden police officer.
Really?
So, I think, my special police officer program, we're going to need some brave souls. I was in the military, Angel. We give ourselves for God and country.
Hoorah.
And, however this thing works out, man, that, they have police vests or I don't know. I say let's keep the special police officers just with the safe corridors and not, deal with the drug sets. Just, walk the kids to schools and patrol around in schools. And that would be a safe environment for them to take this $25 an hour for 30 hours a week to work as a special police officer.
Yeah. All right, Reverend, thank you.
All right.
When Frank Moran called for the National Guard to come to Camden, I said, well, cool. But, now I realize that was just a stunt. That was just for show.
Yeah, he's hysterical. I actually can say that I sat down, me and my e-board members from our fire fraternal, the Camden Bomberos, we sat down with him because he was, as a councilman, he was in charge of public safety.
Mm-hmm. They ain't going nowhere.
Come on, man. It's him, Whit Wilson. It's just, you know what? They don't just disappoint, but they disappoint largely, man. I mean, big. Okay? When you see.
They don't.
And I know they do some things, but, you know, good.
What good? Tell me.
You know what? Some people actually say, oh, he took care of this, he took care of that.
Like what?
Little things, individual little things for like one person here, one person there.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about the whole city, we're talking the whole public safety fabric. You know what I mean? Everything.
I do that a lot.
They just like, they smile at you. They go, yeah, because they did their part. Yeah, I sat down and talked with you. But you never hear from them again.
They gave you the meeting that you was asking for.
They did their
one
job. Meeting.
And they did their job.
You know what I mean?
But again, you know, I called my lawyer and said, look, the mayor of Camden was negotiating not in good faith with the unions, and told the unions to cut their budget by $3 million. The unions came back and cut it and surpassed that. Then the mayor came back and said, well, now I want 40% of your pay cut. I mean, raising the bar.
It's so ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, and not that that's really outside, you know, out of bounds, because when you negotiate, you negotiate. It's it's business.
Yes.
Don't take it personal. But there has to be, you know, good faith. Both sides have to understand that, hey, you know, we're actually trying to do something here. You know, that we're both bargaining in good faith and we're going to come to a solution. But I just, you know, I'm not a union negotiator, so I was never involved at that level, so I really can't say. I just know that from my fraternal experience, there has never been good faith with this administration.
Bottom line is, Chief, that if the mayor's mind was already made up that no matter what the unions came with, she was not going to take it because the Metro Police was what she was ordered to put in the table.
Oh, we got that from an insider.
Okay.
You know, it's funny how the rep talked about he's hearing from insiders. You know, I had an insider a couple weeks ago. Man, little birdie. Someone who's inside the machine. In the room. Hey, she was ordered.
She was
out of her mouth. She's ordered.
And the thing is, Rev.
We always knew that.
The thing, Rev, Chief, that the mayor was not dealing in good faith. She knew that this was that was going to happen, and the ultimate decision that she has to do was put the community of Camden in jeopardy by laying off half the police force.
They're selling our children.
So I asked my lawyer, can I sue the mayor? And his reply was, no, because Title 59 gives her immunity from a lawsuit. Yes,
but we are talking about when, you know, as we were looking at this too, on a constitutional basis. You know, I know as a retired military chief, and when I was active, and now as an active public safety, you know, official, you know, you swear to uphold the Constitution. You know, you have to. That's part of the process. So in a way, all these policemen and firemen out there, you know, you have to question yourself and go, hey, you know, and each other go, is the city in violation of the Constitution? Are they really acting for the people, or are they conspiring against the people?
Who brings that? The victims, who family member died, the police officer who were put in a difficult situation.
Well, here's the thing: you can always sue the city, but the public officials are held immune. But that doesn't mean that you can't force change by winning a lawsuit against the city. But
you know, sue the city, but not the.
But everybody, there's so many city lawsuits. I mean, there's already so many lawsuits, and it's been going on forever. People sue for anything, and the city's always in a tough position to settle. But we're looking at something bigger going. This whole nasty, ugly thing that's been going on for decades. Does this violate the Constitution somewhere, the Bill of Rights, where people are being denied their rights, where there's actually a conspiracy to defraud citizens? And if that's the case, you know, it just begs to. It's just something that we had this conversation the other day, and it was fascinating. We're going, you know, because there's obviously something bigger here. This is something humongous going on, okay? And this time of turmoil, but maybe it's also time of change. Maybe it's time to get rid of all these. But how do you get rid of them legally and abide by the Constitution? So it's interesting for a cop or fireman because you swear to uphold it and defend your citizens. You know, so what's our part in this? Do we just stand by while they try to consolidate us out of here? Why they outsource the police to people that don't live in the city, that don't really give a crap about.
And what
our
about the
people?
52 lives that were taken last year
I agree.
that could have been prevented?
Yes.
If we had.
And
right
people
position.
say, Angel, people say that they can't prevent that. And I say nonsense. We can make this city into our image.
Last words, Chief.
These times are getting tougher. Spring is here. It's coming. Let's get out there. Let's do this.
Well, we need change, and change means that you're going to have to take power away from those who have it, and we need to do that.
You only have power, Angel, if you give it to somebody.
Absolutely.
We need to just say you don't have the power anymore.
I'll see you next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Thank you.